The brand new Odyssey Rewrite is simply mediocre. There are plenty of features and gameplay elements missing from the original version or version 0.1.9 mixed with a lot of clutter and stuff that nobody really asked for. The only thing that has been improved upon here is visuals, lighting, ambiance, and atmosphere, and maybe settings, but that's about it. Everything else seems to be either removed or will be added at a later date. The car is obviously the main gameplay loop of Odyssey and is really the only thing to maintain in this game. The car is definitely an improved model from the original, but the original has a lot more features and is more useful than the current car in the rewrite, which just makes it more likable than the new. The old car had more parts to be maintained, with the hood containing a battery, a radiator, and the engine. The interior had lights, sun visors with non-functional mirrors, a glove box to store your alcohol, a functioning radio with various stations, which I would argue is probably the best part of the car, a working speedometer, fuel gauge, temperature gauge, headlights, window wipers for whenever it rains, and the trunk for storing more junk you find along the way. So what does the new car have in the rewrite? Well, if it wasn't already painfully obvious, the rewrite is heavily underbaked and ultimately an unfinished game still in its testing phase. AJ himself, one of the main developers, said that this update was a bit rushed. I think a bit rushed is pretty far-fetched in putting it lightly. Why they decided to release the rewrite to the public now of all times honestly just beats me. I think it could have used maybe another month or two in the oven and it would have been a pretty solid update. As I said, the game belongs in testing, but that's really just my own opinion. There's only a handful of new things to like about this update. The rest I have very mixed opinions about or just don't like. Having more settings and the ability to adjust field of view is a godsend, and I hope we get some key binding stuff in the future. The new visuals and lighting are very pleasing to look at, along with the new music and ambiance that does a great job at immersing the player. It's hard not to notice and really appreciate since they complement each other so well. They added sprinting. Yeah, moving faster is always nice, so this is a good addition. The new HUD is minimalistic, which is a good design choice for this game, but it could use a little more information about things, and I'm a tad bit mixed about it. I love that you can drive the car manually now using the number pad to shift into different gears. This was just a great idea. Throwing was a nice addition, I like it. Now onto things I have mixed opinions about or just don't like. There's two new items, a cell phone and a lighter. Both of them just act as a means to see in the dark. The cell phone is, well, just a cell phone. The screen is pure white and nothing else. It would be cool if the screen showed you like the time of day, but it doesn't. The cell phone in the original was also just a light source, so I figured in this game they would have at least added like a screen to show the time or a clock, but it's just a new, prettier model. The lighter is just a worse version of the lantern from the original. Also, it stays on when it's dropped somehow. Not a real immersion breaker or a crazy issue, it's just something I noticed while playing the game. Honestly, to fix this, just add a pickle lighter skin. It's cool, bro.
Huh? You like the lighter? Pickle? Pickle? Nah, man. No damn pickle. Pickle? Hey, man. What's wrong with pickle, bro? No pickle, man. Pickle no good.
Water bottles have a random chance of containing gasoline. Why? I was so dumbfounded whenever I drank from a water bottle and ended up taking damage, only to find out in the loading screen tips that some water bottles have a rare chance to contain gas. Why? You can't even check the contents of it, you just have to drink it, and it's not like you're going to pour it out either just to figure out if it's gasoline or water. This is just simply dumb. The new HUD is pretty nice, but it really lacks a lot of info. I think it would be nice if, you picked up a jerry can and it would tell you what liquids are inside of it, like on the side of your screen in the original or maybe in the inventory box. Why do I have to drop it, stare at the lid at a hyper-specific angle, pop open the cap, then accidentally pick it up, trying to close the cap, drop it, look at it again, close the cap, and then finally pick it up? That is super annoying and tedious just to look at the liters and what is inside of the jerry can. Also, you can't drink from jerry cans. I tried. Maybe you can, I just don't know how. In the original, you could, but here it doesn't seem it was added yet. You'd think with this new inventory system now, accounting weight into objects, that you would be able to, pick up and store a jerry can in your inventory, but no, that's not allowed. The jerry can is pretty much the same as its counterpart. It has opening and closing animations, pouring animation. There's just no HUD elements that tell you what's in it, and you can't drink from it. That's about it. Storing stuff in your car is really janky because it doesn't lock into place, and it just causes the car to be really unstable. Diving. Why was this added? What purpose does it serve? Just to be fun? It gets pretty old after a few minutes and can be annoying to deal with, especially when you want to jump somewhere while sprinting and not dive. Again, what is the purpose of this? It's useless. Items stop spawning at around 20,000 meters, which is a bug. Buildings will still spawn, but stopping to grab supplies is useless because there isn't anything to grab, which ultimately just ends your run because there isn't any gas. The journal is a neat HUD element, but it tells too little. Also, why is there a limb-based health system in a driving game? I'm aware zombies are going to be added later, but who asked for this? The game does not need it. Eating takes too long, refills too little of your hunger, and the animation just looks bad compared to the original. I liked the idea of power boxes in the original game where you had to walk around buildings, find a breaker box, flip the switch, and then you could use the lights. Here, buildings are just powered, which is fine. I'm sure they'll add it back later, or maybe not. I don't think it's a big problem. It's just something I'm nitpicky about. There's floating trees. The buildings lack furniture, and they could honestly use some more life or TVs, to really set the feeling that people hurriedly grabbed all their belongings in a panic because of an emergency zombie outbreak, considering that there is just a bunch of junk scattered around. You can't even sit on the couches, but you can pick up and sit on this random wooden chair, and you can also use it as a car seat, which is pretty cool. It would also be nice if you could open the drawers in this game just to find more junk, make the environment more interactive. The trash models in this game bother me for some reason. The cans could have just been bent, empty blocks of color or witch's brew cans, but they're all just this very ugly color. The cardboard is just there. Maybe they could be pizza boxes or have some fictional shipping company name on them. I don't know. The rain overlay looks kind of bad. I understand it's for optimization and that it's client-sided, but it just bugs me a little bit. It still looks kind of nice anyway. It's just a mix, It's kind of bad, kind of nice. Yeah. The car has turn signals. Why? They didn't even add honking. The headlights still suck. Add some high beams, or just make better headlights. There's this weird, constant droning sound or rumble coming from a certain direction. I have no idea what it is. You hear this every game. Seriously, what is that noise? I only found out maybe about 5 games in that it's a plane. I think it's supposed to be a plane. I mean, you can see a plane in the distance. You can see the air trail it leaves behind, which is a cool detail. But I don't think planes sound like that, and they usually aren't that loud. I think it's kind of annoying. You can't repair the car. If it gets damaged, it just stays like that forever, basically. You have no way to repair the car. In the original game, you repair the car with sponges. I don't know if they'll change it in this game where they make you repair it with a hammer or something. Aside from that, that would be pretty cool though, but we'll just have to wait and see. Aside from all that nonsense, underneath all these problems is a really solid foundation for a driving game with a lot of potential, once it gets fixed, of course. No hate on the developers whatsoever. I really love this game. I've been with it since August of 2024, seen all the updates and content, played the April Fool's update. I made a Deftones video which is just a clip dump of Odyssey clips I had playing with my friends, and needless to say, I love this game. It really scratched a certain itch for road trip games I had, and continues to be my favorite of all of them in the genre. It just really bummed me out to see the rewrite release in such an unfinished state. I'll keep supporting the project anyway. After all, the developers are people with responsibilities to take care of, and this game is more or less just a simple passion project, and I humbly respect that. I just don't want any rushed updates. There's not really much reason to play the rewrite over the original at the moment, simply because the rewrite lacks gameplay and lots of missing features from the original. We'll be getting weapons and NPCs, which is most likely zombies in February, along with some guns, so it should be worth the wait. I'll just stick to playing the archived version for the time being, wait for the next update. Have a good day.
Don't go into those hills now. Oh, bridge, tunnel, 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 tunnel.
Okay. Had me
You're
scared
right.
for a moment there, Buster. You look at me. Look at me. Oh shit. Oh.
Don't tilt the car on. Tunnel, tunnel.
Oh.